Welcome back to part 4 of our journey. We pick back up in Moab, where we hit our favorite little diner for the best breakfast around. We reminisced of the last time we wandered through this little town. The snow was amazing, but it kept us from reaching the top of the world and crossing the Delores River. Our plan was set: find the perfect campsite to unwind on my birthday, spend the day relaxing by the creek, griddle some steaks and potatoes, and watch the stars sail by. We would start off the next day with some shrimp and grits before making our way to the top of the world. Do you know the easiest way to make God laugh? For me, it's just to make plans. He must have had a really good laugh at those plans, because we never made it to step 2. After crossing the river, parts of the road turn to a superfine sand that resembles flour. Roll your windows up, because the dust you kick up will catch up to you. As you get further down the trail, it gets tight with scrub brush. Some boulders that barely let a full-size rig squeeze by, and a blind corner shelf road that can make a passenger cringe. The views are somewhat limited, as we are following the river through the bottom of a canyon, but it was still a great place to be. Speaking of great places to be, I still have 2 more videos from this trip, part 1 and part 5 to make. Hopefully they won't take as long as this one has to produce, but I want to take a minute to thank everyone who has subscribed. If it weren't for you guys, this video may have sat in limbo a bit longer. While I have yet to be monetized, I still want to give something back for your support. So the first 5 subscribers to comment the time of the video that the scorpion shows himself will get a patch from 511 Tactical. So when you see the scorpion, pause the video and comment the playtime of the video, and I will get your info and mail it to you. Then I will lose your info. Or you can come pick it up in person and get a closer look at Precious. We saw a lot of tracks in the road and beside the river. I convinced Rebecca they were dog tracks. I knew she had seen the viral video of the mountain lion stalking the hiker in Utah, and I thought that she might refuse to leave the truck if she knew what they really were. So after passing several acceptable riverside campsites and crossing mountain lion territory, we wandered a bit further down the valley. As we rounded the cliffside, there it was. Our campsite glowed like the inside of Marcellus Wallace's briefcase.
Say you want to and we'll leave tonight. Say the word, it's up to you.
There are many things that can cloud your judgment when you are out on the trails. Today, it was the excitement of finding that perfect campsite. I could already feel the sand between my toes. Little did we know that even though we were within a stone's throw away, we would not be setting foot on it today.
tire was right here.
Go up that way. I mean, like,
Huh?
turn that way.
She said turn that way. Now I want to get out and walk the trail. So with a very reassuring thumbs up to Rebecca, I head down to check out the next obstacle. A boulder is not leaving us enough room to get by. Still feeling confident that backing out will be easy, I return to the truck and find reverse.
Please get me off this hill with this. Yeah, he said the razor that they had, it was right down there in that spot right down there.
After idling backwards in 4 low for about 15 feet, the back tires started drifting downhill and were on a path right off the cliff. Trying to correct it by pulling forward did not help things as the back tires continued to slide to the bad side. I spent an hour trying to build a road, stacking rocks and watching for snakes. That's when I saw my sign. A scorpion backed out from a rock as I lifted it. I looked at the horizon, about an hour of daylight left. I looked at the truck on the verge of sliding off the trail. There's no sleeping in it. I carefully helped Rebecca and Merle out of the driver's side of the truck and eased out a few essentials for our hike through mountain lion territory. You know, like a flashlight and some water. Merle was on point the rest of the night, circling us constantly, sniffing out tracks and pointing out a few spots in the dense brush. I took heed of his warnings and kept myself between the danger and Rebecca. She was nervous to say the least, but more concerned about the length of our hike if those last campers had packed up and left. Remember, those were just dog tracks we had seen earlier. By the time we crossed the river, it had dropped below freezing. I began throwing beams of the flashlight around the canyon walls to get the attention of the campers. They cautiously approached us, but we were able to shift them into hero mode. They taxied me back to the truck for enough gear to sleep in the bed of their truck. They even served us breakfast before taking me to get cell service to call in Trailmater for the extraction.
Yeah, that might do it.
After looking at our heroes' local maps, we were able to tell Trailmater and Rory that our truck was stranded in the Delores Triangle. They immediately took off while we rode with our new friends. When we arrived, Rory already had Precious tied off and ready for the extraction. I was not looking forward to climbing into the truck, but the captain must go down with the ship. can see how you might be thinking that my birthday plans were ruined. Shot down like a missile over Israel. Nothing went as planned. Supper was nabs and granola. We had to leave the truck overnight in the middle of nowhere, 2,000 miles from home, and walk 5 miles, 4 in complete darkness through mountain lion territory. Then approach perfect strangers in the middle of a pandemic and ask for help. Sleep in the bed of someone else's truck only to wake up and call a Chevy to come save my Ram? Well, it wasn't any Chevy. It was Trailmater the trail tow truck, and I had pondered getting stuck in the sand near Hurricane, Utah just to get a tug and a t-shirt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery. I think I just gave myself a stalker vibe. Let's not get stuck on purpose, but I do like watching that yellow XJ at work. With Merle burrowed into the bottom of our sleeping bag, we kept warm and toasty for the starlight matinee that sent us off into a great night's sleep. After a somewhat tense introduction over the moonlit desert landscape, the cold steel was holstered and we saw the kind hearts of strangers as our new friends leaped into hero mode and went out of their way to help us back to our vacation. As for the hike, it was just another walk through the valley, comforted by a staff and a shield by Smith & Wesson. The truck was fine where it sat that night, and the steaks were still in the cooler ready for the next campsite. With all that being said, this was easily one of my top 5 best birthdays. I could not have planned anything more exciting and tribulating than the horror flick that was my 45th birthday. Thank you for letting me share it with you.
Yeah.
Hey, come back. Straighten out. There you go. Passenger. Stay straight. Straighten out. Straight right there. Driver a little. Hold up right there. Let's pick everything up.
It was a pretty easy pull and was back up on top of the hill in no time. Trailmater's fees were less than the original quote over the phone, but I insisted on paying the full amount. I didn't do anything to deserve a discount. Back on solid ground, and we were wore out, and in desperate need of a shower. I don't think Rebecca was enthused about our past night's adventures. Everything was telling me to return to Moab, get a room, and hit the town for some food and drinks. So we packed our gear from our new friend's truck and headed back to Moab to regroup and catch our breath. We noticed this quaint little retirement ranch home on the way in and had to stop and investigate. The rock stacking was extraordinary, but it needed a new roof, and I don't think Delores Triangle is my kind of hood. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd hate for you to miss the next video. Happy trails, and watch out for those yakking river witches.